Could Manchester United complete a championship treble? Old Trafford was packed for the opening match of the 1994-95 FA Carling Premiership season. Queen's Park Rangers were the visitors as the defending champions set their sights on a third consecutive title, a hat-trick completed only 3 times previously. Older fans telling the younger ones about Huddersfield in the 20s, Arsenal in the 30s and Liverpool in the 80s.
Oh, well played by Giggs and Kanchelskis. Well, now then. Clive Wilson, what does the referee do here? Red, he's off. And I have to say that if Kanchelskis had not been fouled, he may well have gone on to attempt on goal. Queen's Park Rangers disappointed with the referee's decision, but Clive Wilson looked to me like the last man. Irwin into Hughes. The momentum is still there for United. It's Kanchelskis now. May has made a forward run. Here he is. Hughes. Wow. Absolutely typical. Bombastic finish from Mark Hughes. And they greet the first goal of the season at Old Trafford with some relief as well as delight. There's Bruce. Oh, well played. Ince. Hit the bar, and the rebound, McClare. There. They've got 2 against 2 up the middle. It's Ferdinand with Parker here, and it's... Oh, now then. Paul Parker bringing down Les Ferdinand. Red card. It's a red card. Now then, it's Les Ferdinand who comes in behind Parker. A little ricochet that looks as though it will put Ferdinand through. Wasn't the trip that was the crime of Wilson, it was more of a little tug. But Ferdinand went down and Parker goes off.
Liverpool set off like a house on fire. Their opponents on the opening day were promoted Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park.
Fowler. Redknapp to Jones. Fowler. Jones has gone on. Down he goes. Penalty! Robbie Hart pointed to the spot. Simon Roger is the guilty man. And Robbie Jones has won Liverpool an early penalty. The referee won't tolerate any dissent at all. They were shoulder to shoulder for a while, but Jones got in front of his man and down he went. It'll be Jan Molby on his return to senior football. And it's Liverpool in front. Young is forward and has got the ball. Let it go with a reply. Molby trying to clear his lines. And as far as Southgate. Salako. Tackled by Barnes. In by Wilkins. Away by Molby. Liverpool on the break. And makes it 2 for Liverpool. And how? Would you believe that's his first goal for almost a year? 30-odd games without a goal. Well, the long run is over. Headed by Ruddock. He'll clear those all day long. Oh, one picture. Bounced awkwardly in front of him. Robbie Fowler is in here for Liverpool. Oh! He knows where the goal is, all right. Robbie Fowler on the stroke of half-time makes it 3-0 for Liverpool. away by Ruddock. Gordon, very strong when he comes forward. Good cross, Armstrong! A ray of hope for Crystal Palace, provided inevitably by Chris Armstrong. Colby. Redknapp. Barnes. Bjornaby has got forward here. In towards Rush. What a goal! McManaman. Jones. Onside Redknapp, and he's got Robbie Fowler in support. Jamie Redknapp, good recovery by Coleman. Full-back McManaman! Liverpool lead by 5 goals to 1. Redknapp with the corner, Barnes with a flick on, Rush with the header, 6.
But even that 6-goal salvo was overshadowed on the opening day of the Premiership season by the debut of a German World Cup star hitherto recognised in England mainly for his exaggerated falls when tackled. But Jurgen Klinsmann, who joined Tottenham Hotspur from Marseille, was to bring a new impetus to the English game and help fill its stadiums. He started by scoring with a diving header in Spurs' 4-3 win at Sheffield Wednesday, and he never stopped scoring until the season's end. A week later, Spurs were brought down to earth by Manchester United and their captain.
That is Bruce, and it's a goal. The Manchester United captain registers his delight, and Ian Walker came for the corner and didn't make it. Dimitrescu is seeing plenty of the ball, most of it given to him by Hazard. Coming in from this left-sided position, on to Klinsmann and back to the Romanian. Penalty. Yes. Dimitrescu went down. Steve Bruce, the Manchester United captain, having put them in the lead, now gives away the penalty with a quarter of an hour to go. Little Dimitrescu took the return ball here from Klinsmann, pushed it past Bruce. His body was in the way, down he went, and a penalty kick to Spurs. Now on Wednesday night against Everton, Teddy Sheringham blazed a penalty over the bar, but he's got the confidence and the belief to step forward again, the Spurs captain. He'll want to put this one away for more than one reason. And he can't put that one in either. Peter Schmeichel has saved, and Spurs might regret the decision not to change the penalty taker. And it could be costly. Schmeichel guessed the right way. It was at an appreciative height for a goalkeeper, but it's a good save.
Leeds manager Howard Wilkinson was trying to focus on the championship they'd won 3 years earlier.
Wallace again for Gary McAllister, a semi-professional back in his own country, opens his account in the Premier League. Massinger, here's Worthington. Weatherall won it. Oh, super goal! Noel Whelan. They're getting better. Spencer. Sinclair looks for somebody to try and hit, and finds Furlong, who finds Wise. Spencer goes down into the challenge of Carlton Palmer, and the referee has pointed at the penalty spot. And you'd have to look at it 2 or 3 times to come to a definite conclusion. Dennis Wise to take it, very nonchalant. Noel Whelan might have been the offender. Anyway, Leeds will have to defend from a free kick in a dangerous position. Wise. Oh, Lukic got down very well, but Spencer was onto it, and the goal will stand. Eddie Newton just on as a substitute. Good deep cross. Spencer! Oh, it's gone through Lukic! It's 3-2! And Chelsea, all over the field, throw their arms around each other. John Spencer with his second of the match, and a dreadful mistake by Lukic. Eddie Newton, the substitute, barely on the field. His cross, and somehow it just slipped away from the keeper. And with 2 minutes left, Chelsea have come back from being 2-0 down to lead by 3-2, right through the legs of John Lukic, a goal to haunt him.
But Chelsea would be haunted by inconsistency. After winning their first 3 games, they faced a Newcastle side who'd won their first 4. St James's Park, Keegan's Kingdom, was packed to the rafters.
Magnificent strike by Andy Cole. Spencer gets it across, Wise, it's in. Peacock, Gavin Peacock scores against his old club, and the scores are level. Watson just came away off his chest, but it came to Rule Fox. Watson. Cole. The defender was climbing all over the back of Andy Cole, and the referee has pointed at the penalty spot. It looked as though Cole's attempt to jump to meet the cross was impeded by the defender. I think it was Steve Clark, and it's a penalty which Robert Lee will take. Lee from the penalty spot. Karine saves it, but who's onto the rebound? It's the quickest man on the field, Rule Fox. Oh, Spencer headed it on with the back of his head. Furlong arrives. Super header, and Chelsea are level again. We've not had half an hour, and it's 2 apiece, and Chelsea have twice stunned St James's Park with an equaliser. Is Rule Fox. Again, that little buzz around the ground. Sellers who offered him a target. Beresford goes on the overlap and gets it. Fox, Lee, 3-2 Newcastle. That's fallen nice for Andy Cole. Watson peels off. Lee down the middle, here's Lee. Still Lee, Cole! He doesn't even miss half chances, does he? You can't take your eyes off Andy Cole for a second.
Manchester United certainly didn't. Later in the season, the man who scored 68 goals in 84 appearances for Newcastle was transferred for a record fee of £7 million. Nottingham Forest, back in the Premiership after 1 season down, made a cracking start. They too had bought from overseas, the Dutchman Brian Roy joining the likes of Lars Bohinen and, of course, Stan Collymore.
Black. Bohinen. Showed the corner, forced to turn. Collymore. Phillips. Roy turns the quickest. Gets a bit of luck with the bounce. Stone got a deflection. And it's Kingsley Black who has scored. Bit of a ricochet goal. But the last touch, the telling one, was from Kingsley Black. Phillips. Steve Stone. Oh! Drilled in by Lars Bohinen. It bounced off John Sheridan. And Bohinen took full advantage. Sinton. Crossley goes for the punch. High pulls it down, and this time is accurate with his shot. Mark Crossley hasn't had much to do. He won't have been too pleased with that. Black. Bohinen, the 2 goal scorers. Graham Hyde gives it away to Stone, who took it well. Roy tried for a curler, appeal for handball, and penalty given. Handball by Coleman. Referee was right there. Said that it denied the shot. Saw it as deliberate, and penalty awarded. Coleman looked a little aggrieved, claiming he was balancing himself. Pearce won't mind about that. And Forest lead by 3 goals to 1. Forest still seeking another goal, and the balance of play has swung strongly in their favour in the closing stages. Here's Roy again. And this time he makes it count.
The Dutchman was an instant hit, and Forest remained unbeaten for their first 11 games. Meanwhile, at Old Trafford, Mr. Ferguson's champions were out to inflict a first defeat on the new-look Liverpool.
Scales didn't know that Kanchelskis was there. And Manchester United are gifted the lead. Leclerc. Giggs has gone out to the right. Took a couple of eyes by doing so. Back to Leclerc, number 2. From the touch by Cantona. The run by Giggs at the start of that played a part. And suddenly it's all gone wrong for Liverpool.
It all went wrong fairly quickly for Leicester City, promoted via the playoffs. They had to wait 6 games for their first win, but when it came, a packed house at Filbert Street rejoiced in eclipsing Spurs and Klinsmann.
Julian Joachim taking on Nethercott. He got past him. Coleman came across, but it didn't matter. Julian Joachim gives Leicester the lead. Edinburgh. And up by Blake. And here's Joachim, 3 against 2 here. Doesn't know whether just to keep possession or try and put it beyond Spurs. It's played David Lowe in. Klinsmann, he's made space. Oh, and he's made Leicester pay. Not over yet, not by a long way. We're in stoppage time. Roberts has found Joachim again. And again, it's Julian Joachim once more. And now it's 3-1. And now they have won the game.
But it was only one of 6 games that Leicester did win in the Premiership before being relegated. Newcastle United's 1969 Fairs Cup winners were fated on the pitch before the modern team played Liverpool at St James's Park.
On by Fox. This is Lee. Cole, far post, is unmarked at the moment. Goal! Robert Lee! Barnes. Taken by Rush. And it's in. He was backtracking with Pavel Cernicek. And he was off balance. And Ian Rush makes it 1-1.
There was a warm welcome too for old Blackburn favourites Dave Whelan, Ronnie Clayton and Brian Douglas as they watched their old club playing in a newly constructed Ewood Park.
Lovely control from Shearer. The forward ball by Atkins. This is Wilcox, chased by Barrett. Shearer and Sutton waiting in the middle now.
Douglas so looks for one of them. Oh, and he's found Sutton via Ehiog, and Sutton goes, oh, penalty. Got to be. Well, Chris Sutton takes credit. He had two players to beat, and he threatened to go past both of them. Alan Shearer takes the ball. And the responsibility. And scores. And Sherwood tucks that into Sutton. Now there is a chance here. It's Ripley. Shearer. It was Chris Sutton who tucked it in, but Shearer made it. Oh, it's a good kick by Flowers. A really... Well, no wonder they're congratulating Tim Flowers. I've not seen a better long kick by a goalkeeper for a long time. Foul by Warhurst on York gives Villa a free kick in stoppage time. In it goes from Richardson. There's the header, and there's one back. Ehiog got it. The big man up from the back. Scores for Villa.
Villa would have a troubled season. So in some ways would Arsenal, but back in October, George Graham was still in charge at Highbury when Crystal Palace, promoted as champions, came looking for their first win in the Premiership. And they found it on the ground where they were relegated 2 seasons before.
Smith. Not forward there. There's a good chase on here. Linnigan in pursuit of Armstrong. He won't catch him. Into the penalty area. Off the post, Salako. Palace have scored. And it was another one of those quick breaks from the halfway line. They were maybe a little fortunate in the original build-up. Patterson. Fortunate that his captain was there. One or two tackles flying in. And here's Armstrong breaking down the right. He's got Salako in the middle. Salako! It was pin precision, and Palace lead 2-0. Selly. Schwartz just knocking it in. Right, great strike! Super shot, even better save. He has to reach across. He's done it now. Ian Wright has claimed the ball. Arsenal have got the goal, and Ian Wright has recorded his 100th goal since he joined Arsenal.
An out-and-out goal-scorer was something that Leeds United were desperately seeking at this stage. But when they entertained Manchester City, it seemed as though they might have found one within their own ranks, in 19-year-old Noel Whelan.
Right, well, trying to turn it back in. It's come on in for Wallace. Not much happening ahead of him. Only Gary Kelly. Maybe all Leeds will need. He's very, very quick. Now he's got support. Now he's got support. Here's Whelan. Oh! End-to-end magic from Leeds United. Kelly. Stoppage time. Header away by McMahon. McAllister, he'll have a go. Charged down by McMahon. Came off speed. Whelan has turned right well, and that is that. Noel Whelan seals the Leeds United victory.
But on his own, Whelan was not quite the answer to Leeds' requirements. Later in the season, a certain Ghanaian would emerge from Germany to lift Ellen Road supporters. Down at the Dell, Matt Letitia was exciting his admirers with his conjuring tricks. Mike Walker's beleaguered Everton were still looking for their first win when they discovered that the Southampton sorcerer now had an apprentice in the little Dane, Ronnie Ekelund, on loan from Barcelona.
Letitia, oh, what a good early ball. Ekelund's in here. Ekelund, yes! Wonderfully made for him, but taken in sprightly fashion.
Moncao, Maddison, Letitia! It's his day again, and there's nothing in the world that Everton can do to stop him.
Sheffield Wednesday had made their usual slow start, only one win in their first 8 games. But the visit to Hillsborough of the defending champions was just what they needed to kick-start their season.
Sheridan to Bart Williams. Hurst onside. Big chance for David Hurst. Wednesday in front. And that could be just what David Hurst's season needed.
So the early leaders were Newcastle and Nottingham Forest, followed by Liverpool and Blackburn. At the bottom, it was a nightmare start for Everton, but with 4 teams going down, the relegation issue would cover half the division before long. A new television camera position at Ewood Park to spy on the team now prominent in the Championship. For Blackburn Rovers, these were heady times indeed. Even his grandfather wouldn't remember the last time they won the Championship, but now they were on course, and even Liverpool couldn't stop them.
Fowler got a deflection. That's too much for Tim Flowers. Goalkeeper a little unfortunate. The goal was given away with the marking on Fowler from the quickly taken free kick. Atkins pass, Sutton in possession. Man at the back was Ripley, and Atkins is the scorer. They got 2 men over at the back post then, Blackburn. Really sharp turn by Alan Shearer. Barnes. McManaman. After being given the runaround for quite a spell, John Barnes comes up with a goal to remember. Shearer is up with Sutton, and Sutton is away. Blackburn lead again.
And for much of the season, they would lead the table. But Newcastle was still unbeaten, and their visit to Crystal Palace offered Kevin Keegan the chance to show that his team were growing up fast.
Nielsen. And again, inside for Fox. Turns Priest. Watson, Beardsley. Beardsley! With just a minute to go, Peter Beardsley engineers something out of nothing.
And Keegan's team were very much in the race for the title. A wet day in Manchester, but what a game City and Spurs produced at Main Road.
Here's Flitcroft. This is Lomas. Quinn waiting. It's Walsh! Goal! Paul Walsh scores against his old club. Sheringham. Klinsmann. Oh, he's in here. Oh, penalty, is it? Yes, gotta be. Klinsmann brought down by Dibble. He read the back pass. The crowd think Klinsmann dived. The City fans, that is. And Dumitrescu takes the penalty with some aplomb. That's Phelan. And here's Flitcroft. City are looking for all sorts of angles here. It's a great ball out to Somerby. Just inside him is Lomas. Walsh and Quinn are in the middle. Walsh! Quinn! Noel Quinn 2-1. Beagley, that's real wing play, vintage stuff. Quinn, Walsh is in the centre waiting. Walsh! It's there! Oh, what a great goal! There's no other word for it. Down the flanks again, City of Frostford. Good ball by Dazelle. This is Dumitrescu. Klinsmann is to his left. Oh, and he's played it inside Edgehill. And it's still going to be Klinsmann. Back heel to Dumitrescu. Deflection. Goal! Spurs have got one back in the first minute of the second half. And the overseas connection works again. Just look at the way forwards are going at defenders here. No fear at all. Beagley. He's round the back again. Oh, it's there! It's Lomas! Number 4, and again from across. Well, here's Walsh. So sprightly. What a good run by Paul Walsh. He's still there. Oh, and yes, Flitcroft! Wonderfully well made by Walsh.
City's 5-2 win hastened a change of Tottenham manager. Meanwhile, on the same October Saturday, the visitors to Villa Park were unbeaten Nottingham Forest, whose early season form following promotion suggested they might have a surprising say in the championship outcome.
Well, Forest have shown in recent matches that they are really dangerous in full flow, and it's an early ball intended for Collymore, but it's Roy who's picked it up and goes down under a strong challenge, and it's a penalty. Earl Barrett's tackle has brought a penalty, and we've played just over 30 seconds. The first testing ball into Villa's penalty area, and Barrett's tackle adjudged worthy of a spot kick. And Stuart Pearce has put the ball on the spot, and Nigel Spink in the firing line. 1 minute, 13 seconds on the clock. Stuart Pearce with the penalty, and Forest go marching on. Chettle, just a little touch. Oh, it's gone in, Stone! It was mishit, and it's cruel to Aston Villa, but it's Forest second, and maybe now the game is beyond the home side.
That result took Forest in second place, 6 points clear of Blackburn and 8 ahead of Manchester United. But Newcastle, like Forest unbeaten, were making the pace. The bottom team at the end of October were Everton, who'd made the worst start in their history. Life would get better for QPR and Wimbledon, but not for Ipswich and Leicester. Newcastle's biggest test so far came at Old Trafford, where they put their record of 8 wins and 2 draws on the line against the champions. The match was relayed to St James's Park, with 44,000 watching live in Manchester.
Giggs or Irwin, it's Giggs. Oh, what a good goal! Gary Bannister. Wonderful ball in by Ryan Giggs. Keith Gillespie. And still. Oh! A goal of real class.
And a goal that helped persuade Newcastle to sign Gillespie later in the season in the Andy Cole deal. Now, Blackburn and Kenny Dalglish came to spoil Nottingham Forest's unbeaten record.
Cooper up the stretch, only for Sutton. Shearer to Wilcox. Sutton again. But frightened to have a go, and why not? Crossley caught by surprise and beaten for pace. Hendry and Berger in the middle. It's Shearer though, and now Sutton. And that should do it for Blackburn Rovers. And that looks like the end of the Nottingham Forest unbeaten run. 2 for Sutton, 2 for Blackburn.
So, going into November, only 6 points separated the top 5 clubs. Revitalised Liverpool had a game in hand on the rest. But their Merseyside neighbours were still well adrift at the bottom. Another established club in trouble were Aston Villa, and within a few days, both would change their manager. On Guy Fawkes Day, the fireworks came from Anfield, where Nottingham Forest and manager Frank Clark were mugged by the 19-year-old who'd put the sparkle back into Liverpool. Robbie Fowler was a bright young prospect.
By Rush, he's got to go and get it himself. The rest of James is by Crossley, chance for Redknapp, got a deflection, and it's in. And I think Fowler will claim it because the deflection was off him. Redknapp shot. Could be a slight debate as to who's credited. But the last player to touch it, oh, it's mine, says Fowler.
Even now, the fact that 4 clubs would lose their Premiership place was causing panic in the bottom half of the table. For Harry Redknapp at West Ham, a home win over Leicester was vital.
Wally. Rush. Bishop. Wally. Now Monker. Penalty. Nicky Mullins' lunge penalised, and West Ham United have a great chance now to take the lead, and who knows, it's been a tight one, maybe win the match. He's done it! Nobody and nothing was going to keep that out. Smashed home by Julian Dix.
Higher up, 3 wins in a row had put Blackburn into second place, clear of Forest, Liverpool and United. At the bottom, Everton's revival was about to start, but Ipswich and Leicester were destined to stay in the bottom 4. Now a sensational newspaper disclosure concerning Bruce Grobbelaar. The Southampton goalkeeper was alleged to be involved in match fixing. He played on, the police investigated. Leaders Newcastle had their title credentials thoroughly investigated when they bumped into Wimbledon at Selhurst Park. The Dons were moving up the table, and Newcastle's stay at the top would not last much longer. This was a turning point.
Reeves. Header on by Barton. And a touch here. It's Clark! What a start for Wimbledon! Andy Clark! And didn't he take it well? Clark. That's a good run again by Leonardson from midfield. Ikoku now. Clark is coming to his left and Hochiger didn't get there in time. Clark's cross. Leonardson! Ikoku! 2-0 to Wimbledon. Beresford. Fox. And still Fox. Howie's in there, Beardsley's in there, there's a goal for Newcastle! Peter Beardsley! Albert. Lee. Oh, look at Beardsley. Kinson's in there, and it's somehow gone in, possibly off the Wimbledon player. Kitson got a touch, I think, as well, and it's 2-2. That's Harford. An ex-Newcastle player, in fact. One of his many clubs. Here's Clark. Hochiger's got to be very careful here. Clark's beaten him again. No, he hasn't. Back pass, though. Leonardson. That's a good cross, too. There's Barton. Oh, and Harford! And Wimbledon have gone 3-2. It's Mick Harford.
The form team now were Blackburn. They were in a sequence which would bring them 7 wins in a row. The 4th of these came at Ipswich, struggling at the other end of the table.
Here's Slater. Lesotho recover it. Looking for Shearer. Gets it down into the danger area. Sutton. Oh, well, was it over? The linesman's put his flag up. Yes, the goal is given. Craig Forrest with his arms beyond the line when he scooped that one back. Gale's defending header, his pass. It's 1-1. Thompson with something like a dozen games to go at the end of last season. Ipswich didn't appear to be in any trouble, but they didn't win one of the last 11 matches. Sherwood gets in. Oh, it's a great finish by Tim Sherwood. Ripley. Good ball in. Sutton's there. Good save. Shearer's on hand, and it's 3-1, and they've done it again.
So Blackburn were now just 1 point behind champions Manchester United. At the bottom, Joe Royle was the new manager of Everton, and Jerry Francis was charged with reviving 15th place Tottenham. Everton's second game under their new manager was at Stamford Bridge, where Chelsea were proudly unveiling their new £9 million North Stand. It was supposed to be a day of celebration in West London, but Everton had just beaten Liverpool in Joe Royle's first match in control and had the desire to make it 2 wins in a row.
This is in by Abbott. Limpar. Oh, and they got him 3 right out, and he scored. He was virtually unmarked, and Paul Rideout scores for Everton, a goal made by Anders Limpar.
Limpar's old club Arsenal were having a mixed season. George Graham locked horns with Alex Ferguson, and as so often when these great rivals meet, the sparks flew.
Strong challenge by Hughes, who's already been booked, and who will be off.
Hughes, living up to his nickname of Sparky, went off with guns blazing, but that 0-0 draw knocked United off the top of the table. The new leaders, ominously, were Blackburn. Newcastle and Liverpool still in the top 4. Ipswich and Leicester faced a long, hard winter, and now it was down to Brian Little to haul Aston Villa out of the dreaded bottom 4. Tottenham's recovery under Jerry Francis had started with 2 draws, but when Newcastle came to White Hart Lane at the beginning of December, Spurs were ready for liftoff. The new South Stand was going up, and so would the team, now that the practical Francis was in charge. This was a day when Teddy Sheringham outshone even Jurgen Klinsmann and Peter Beardsley.
And Beardsley doesn't find Fox this time, and it's Barmby for Tottenham. Anderton. Through the middle, it'll go again, and it's Teddy Sheringham with a chance. And how well he took it. Spurs are ahead, and Sheringham made finishing look easy. Flick on, and it's Fox. Raw Fox has equalised. First corner, in fact, for Tottenham. Calderwood in the 6-yard box. Sheringham! Well, never mind the defenders who came up. It's the same man again, Teddy Sheringham, with an instant strike. Fox is in there again. Matthew, Clark, deflection, post! It's Fox again, 2-2. Klinsmann. Oh, he's got Sheringham coming in from the far side. 2 others joining up now. Sheringham sees the chance to feed Dean Austin here. Anderton's forward, so is Barmby, so is Klinsmann! Sheringham! It's a hat-trick for Teddy Sheringham. And now Anderton. And Popescu. Oh, brilliantly done by the Romanian. Here he is again. Yes. Terrific goal by Gica Popescu. He made it and he scored it. And Spurs have gone 4-2 up and are now staring firmly at their first win under Jerry Francis.
Things got better and better for Tottenham, while the club Francis left behind, Queen's Park Rangers, were now under the management of former player Ray Wilkins. An early test for him came with the visit to West London of Manchester United. The ground was full for the appearance of the champions, who eventually took all 3 points. But the moment that would live in the memory of those present and the match of the day audience came from Rangers' Les Ferdinand.
Ferdinand plays at his pace. Oh, that's a good chance! A wonderful goal! Wonderful goal by Les Ferdinand. He's looked so poised, and there's been so much of pace around him. When he found that half yard, had no hesitation. Hit as clean a shot as you could wish, and it was curling away from Walsh and beat the right hand. Owen with the run on the left. Scholes in the middle. Good header, lovely goal. Nice touch again. Scholes played early by McClare to Roy Keane. Keeps his balance and scores. Simon Davis has Canister on the near edge. McClare behind. Scholes on the back post. Goalkeeper in trouble. Scholes gets his second. 3 minutes into the second half. Breathing space for the champions. Lennox. Impey. Down there. Lovely goal. Ferdinand.
Les Ferdinand would lead Rangers up the Premiership table, and at that stage of the season, Norwich City were comfortably placed in the top half. Manager John Dean seemed to have picked up a bargain when he signed Ashley Ward from Crewe.
Mark Robbins. Crook first time. Eady will get to it and keeps possession. Now, cuts it back. The new boy has scored. What a start for the man they hope will replace Chris Sutton. Robbins kept his balance. It's a second goal, but who gets it? Ward at the final touch. On with a couple of minutes left. Oh! He's only just come on. His first touch, and it's a goal for Norwich.
Jamie Curriton sealed a victory that established Norwich in 9th place. What a shot lay in store for the Canaries. Their East Anglian neighbours Ipswich were losing touch at the bottom. John Lyle was one of 10 Premiership managers to leave his club during the season. A special goal and a special player to spoil that record, and both came in the presence of Stan Collymore of Nottingham Forest.
Roy. Collymore. He's done it! Stan Collymore! And Nottingham Forest must feel as though they've broken into the Bank of England. Collymore has stolen a goal from the vaults of the Old Trafford defences. It had to be him. It's a full-blooded match, but it's a wonderful tactical contest too. Plenty for kicks to aim at. Flicked on well and into the net. Cantona's goal.
United's first home defeat of the season gave hope to the other Championship contenders. On the same day, Newcastle were at Coventry, where the match of the day cameras found the home side manfully trying to preserve their 27-year stay in the top flight, and the visitors looking towards the Championship that had eluded them for 67 years.
Now Kitson. That's a penalty. That is a penalty. No question about that. Barge from behind that was totally unnecessary. Guzovic saves. And you have to say that is thoroughly in keeping with the match.
Andy Cole would score no more for Newcastle. The Christmas programme brought driving rain to Manchester as well as struggling Leicester City, where a change of manager had seen the arrival from Reading of the up-and-coming Mark McGee. It was a fitting time for Leicester to pick up only their second away point.
Colin Hill has lost it. You could also say it sent a wave of relief around Old Trafford. Oh, and Walsh has missed it, and it's in, Whitlow. The goalkeeper didn't make it, and Leicester have equalised.
The new year dawned with a North London derby, the first in the Spurs-Arsenal series for Tottenham manager Jerry Francis. The mood inside White Hart Lane was festive, if cold, because Tottenham, on appeal, had been given back the 6 points they lost for financial irregularities and reinstated in the FA Cup. This was their 5th consecutive Premiership match without conceding a goal, and it was settled by a Romanian.
Oh, that's a good ball by Howells to Anderson, and they're onside. And Popescu in the middle is the man to find. Number 4. Spurs have scored. And the Romanian, Gica Popescu, makes a telling run from midfield as the Arsenal square defence breaks down.
A sombre George Graham, a very satisfied Jerry Francis. Blackburn were on the best Premiership run of the season, 11 wins and a draw in 12 games. Nottingham Forest's early season form had temporarily fallen away.
Here's Warhurst again. Oh, yes! Warhurst's shot went straight through. It may have taken a slight deflection off a Forest player, but Warhurst, it was who struck it. Chris Sutton working hard on the right-hand side. Oh, he's found Jason Wilcox. It's 2. Oh, they've got Shearer and Sutton waiting, and Wilcox. Berg backs up. Wilcox going across to help the build-up. Atkins. Sutton's on this side now. Oh, it's got off the defender. It's 3-0. Chettle couldn't keep it out. Well, that does settle it now. Chris Sutton with the header. Steve Chettle on the line. 3-0 Blackburn. Atkins cross. Sutton's header away from... well, that, I think, has to be an own goal, doesn't it?
And the Premiership adjudicators later agreed. Tottenham's run of clean sheets came to an end at West Ham.
Oh. Conte in the middle, boys here, and scored! Well, hugely deserved on the balance of play. And the goalkeeper lost it, and Sheringham scores. Howells. Barmby. Dinsman stays just onside, played on by Brown, and Spurs lead. And so soon after the penalty appeals were turned down.
Klinsmann's goals had elevated Spurs to 6th place, but still 16 points behind Blackburn. Even Manchester United was 6 points behind now. That defeat left West Ham in the bottom 4, soon to be known as the drop zone. Coventry were hovering in 17th place, and Arsenal were now in the bottom half. The £7 million signing of Andy Cole had made huge headlines, even by Manchester United standards. Old Trafford welcomed another potential hero, and the setting for Cole's first game was ideal. The visitors, leaders Blackburn.
Roy Keane, forward from right back. Into Brian McClare. Mistake by Warhurst, and here's Cole with a chance right at the start of his United career, and he's missed it. Good interception. Cantona. Giggs comes in and then goes away. Takes on Berg. And gives a present of it to the Norwegian, but wins it back beautifully. This is Berg. Looks long for Shearer, who wins out. Sherwood scores! No, The referee has disallowed it. He's in conversation with Shearer, so one can only assume that the foul was by Shearer. It was a brave header by the captain, Sherwood, but it isn't going to count. Hand there by Shearer on the back of Roy Keane. Sherwood really was brave, kept his eye on the ball.
But the controversy over that was nothing compared to what happened to United and Eric Cantona when they lined up at Selhurst Park to face Crystal Palace 3 days later. The night was to have repercussions for Ferguson and United that would affect the rest of the season. The temperament of their mercurial Frenchman had always been thinly disguised, but when it exploded, his actions would last.
Had a very, very good view of it. Now, temperature's rising, and out comes the red card. There's the morning headline. Eric Cantona. Three times he walked last season, once more in a pre-season game, and now for the 5th time in his Manchester United career, Eric Cantona is sent off. Alan Wilkie is the referee, but it was the advice of the linesman Eddie Walsh which helped him. Oh, what's going on here? Cantona's getting involved with some supporters. Oh, this is outrageous. Norman Davis, the Manchester United kit man, trying to pull him away. Oh, a dramatic controversy.
For his kung fu assault on a spectator, Cantona would be punished with an 8-month suspension and 120 hours of community service. The public debate over the affair lasted at least as long. United had to play on without him.
Good combination between Pallister and Sharp here. David May. Oh, it's there! David May's first league goal for Manchester United gives them the lead and puts the smile back on the face of Alex Ferguson. Armstrong. May couldn't prevent it coming to Solarco. Irwin with a terrific challenge. May's in there too. Priest couldn't reach it. Southgate. It's 1-1. Gareth Southgate with 10 minutes remaining.
Palace were fighting against relegation, and so too were Aston Villa, whose change of manager initially had the desired effect, with 1 defeat in 12 games. Spurs drew a 40,000 crowd to Villa Park.
And that's turned into an excellent ball. Saunders has got Johnson in the penalty area. Saunders on his right foot, he's made space. It's an excellent goal. And it's Dean Saunders with his 12th of the season.
1-0 to Villa. Over at Ewood Park, Kenny Dalglish and Ray Harford had got Blackburn in championship form. Only 3 defeats in 25 games.
Shearer trying to feed Sutton. Down he goes. Referee pulls the spot. We've had just 5 minutes, and Alan Shearer has another opportunity to build on that impressive goal-scoring record against Leeds. Shearer from the spot in a breathless start. And Blackburn lead 1-0. Yeboah on by Dean. McAllister trying to get in there. Wilcox ran across. They all look to the linesman and he says penalty. Blackburn will try to delay the taking of it for as long as they reasonably can. Leeds United have been awarded 1 penalty so far this season, and it was saved. Gary McAllister took it, this time against Bobby Mims. He's equalised. Blackburn 6 minutes away from winning it. Are pegged back by Gary McAllister.
But their lead in the Premiership was still 5 points. At the bottom, Leicester and Ipswich already looked doomed. The flag at Old Trafford flew at half-mast to mark the Munich air disaster anniversary. Brian Little's Aston Villa were the visitors. Andy Cole looking for his first goal.
It's Giggs to take the corner for United. Pallister's up there. Oh yes, turned in! And he's done it! He's done it! Andy Cole! Just really what he wanted.
What Stan Collymore of Nottingham Forest wanted was England recognition, and he was inevitably compared with Liverpool's Robbie Fowler in the meeting of the Hotshots in early February.
There's McManaman into Ruddock, who leaves it in favour of John Barnes. It was easily cut out by Gemmell. Now, Brian Roy, David James has committed himself. Collymore will score! Liverpool now know exactly who Stan Collymore is. We're into a second minute of added on time. Fowler lets it run. McManaman, Fowler! It's 1-1! And we've played 1 minute and 27 seconds of added on time. And Robbie Fowler ends the drought in dramatic style. McManaman nicked it through the legs of Chettle. Fowler beat Crossley. And the Liverpool travelling support are going absolutely delirious.
Not so happy was referee Philip Don, but he passed the main road pitch fit for the Manchester derby. City's new Kipak stand was going up faster than the team.
Andy Cole has spread out left, look. This is McClare. Cole. This is Ince again. Outside him is Kanchelskis. It's in. It's gone straight through Andy Dibble at the near post. And here's Andy Cole. Cole scores in his first Manchester derby.
Some tried to make light of the unrelenting rain and difficult conditions, but at Selhurst Park, the meeting of Crystal Palace and Coventry had undeniably serious overtones.
Long ball down the middle again, and it's come through to Kobe Jones, who scores! And Love could be in, is he on Dublin?
But Coventry manager Phil Neal still lost his job. In the race for the title, Manchester United were back in front by just a point. At the bottom, West Ham were in 20th place, just 6 points behind Arsenal in 12th, with 2 games in hand. Champions Manchester United had been beaten only once in 19 Premiership games when they went to Carrow Road, a lucky ground for them in recent years. Norwich were 10th at the start of the match.
Used them away as far as Ince. That'll do. It's taken them a little bit longer tonight, but Manchester United are in front inside of 3 minutes. And here they come on the break. 4 against 2. Ryan Giggs in possession. Now Andrei Kanchelskis. 2-0.
A comfortable win for United, but with 13 games to go, Blackburn had opened up a 2-point lead, and the champions faced a tricky assignment in trying to close it, away to Everton.
Fans are certainly making enough noise. Hinchcliffe's corner. Ferguson's there! And Everton are in front. The big man has a big reputation which is growing by the week. The Everton fans have a real hero. Schmeichel was committed, didn't get there. Ferguson was always the favourite.
It was United's first defeat of 1995. Now it was Blackburn who'd been made championship favourites. They'd so far lost only 4 times in the Premiership, twice to United, and a visit to Villa Park held no fears for them. Blackburn's players may not have had the credit accorded to United's glamour pack, but then Rovers were in the business of winning matches and doing it well.
Hendry in. Man on the line, a bit unlucky.
Hendry was fast becoming a hero. The visit of Newcastle to Anfield meant the return of 2 old heroes. Terry McDermott and Kevin Keegan, the Newcastle management team, had figured in great Liverpool sides. but their old club did them no favours here.
Here's Redknapp. Well played, Cernicek. Walters. Good adjustment. Good shot too. Blocked. Redknapp misses it. Came off the post. Fowler. Shorts. Fowler. Peacock back to cover. Everybody wants it. Ross gets it. And Darren Peacock's error means that Liverpool have scored twice at Anfield for the first time since January the 2nd.
But Liverpool and Newcastle were losing touch with the leaders. It was looking more and more like a two-horse race. At the bottom, it was chaotic. Even Coventry, under new manager Ron Atkinson, couldn't feel safe in 12th place. Kenny Dalglish was on the threshold of a rare achievement. Only Brian Clough among post-war managers had won the championship with different clubs. With Shearer in top form, Blackburn were too good for Arsenal.
That's Sutton. And here's Shearer with a chance. Wow, he took it ever so well. But I think it's fair to say that the defender wasn't close enough from an Arsenal point of view. This is Lasso. And Shearer goes down, but it's an advantage anyway. Oh goodness, it's a free... Another piece of classic play by Shearer. Warhurst got away. It was Atkins who was brought down. And Linnigan was the player that made the challenge. He doesn't look very happy about the decision, Andy Linnigan. And an opportunity for Alan Shearer to score from the spot for the 10th time this season. He drove that beautifully into the top corner. Dixon. Oh, a chance here for one to go back to Morrow. Steve Morrow scores. Ray Parlour made it. And 2 goals in a matter of 2 minutes.
That victory took Blackburn clear again at the top, 3 points ahead with 10 games left. At the bottom, Southampton and Manchester City were now part of the relegation dogfight. Norwich were dropping fast. Even Chelsea were vulnerable.
Sinclair looking for Furlong. And Furlong finding it, and Steen's there, and he's in! And Chelsea are in front inside of 3 minutes. Graham Lasso. Early for Shearer. Johnson couldn't cut it out. Alan Shearer. 100! A century of league goals completed in the grand Shearer style. Sutton, Shearer, they're starting to click. Sherwood might profit here. 2-1. Tim Sherwood gives Blackburn Rovers the lead.
Chelsea and Glenn Hoddle went on to reach a European semi-final. The landlords met the tenants at Selhurst Park. Wimbledon were higher in the Premiership than Crystal Palace, but their owner Sam Hammam, goalkeeper Hans Seggers and manager Joe Kinnear all shrugged off adverse headlines.
Barton will take the corner. Vinnie Jones steaming in, and it's given. Vinnie Jones seemed to just head it out of the hands of Nigel Martin. It was the sheer force of his arrival. And Warren Barton quarrying forward on his own. Inside Shaw. Good ball to Gale. It's a great chance. It's 2-0 Wimbledon.
Wimbledon's fighting mentality had again ensured their place in top company. Indeed, their league position put them nearer to Europe than to relegation. Blackburn was 6 points up on United, who had a game in hand. But that defeat left Crystal Palace in the bottom 4. Any 2 from 9 could go down with Ipswich and Leicester.
Scores.
And low by Lasso to Sutton. But Shearer! Oh, it's 2! 6 minutes gone, and Alan Shearer gets Blackburn's second goal, and Everton are all over the place. Here's Amakachi. Horn. Stewart, chance. Oh, good effort. Brilliant goal. Graham Stewart, the scorer.
That defeat left Everton in the relegation scramble, along with the likes of Crystal Palace and Manchester City.
Dyer. Nice idea. On to Armstrong. Stolen a yard here on Kernigan. This is Chris Armstrong. Oh, he smuggled it in! Salako trying to relieve Crystal Palace lines, but John Foster has stolen it from Bruce Dyer. And here's Rustler, and he scored this time. Salako's corner. Patterson's header. They're back in the lead. Darren Patterson's first ever goal for the club. And it couldn't have come at a better time.
Blackburn were Championship favourites now, but their visit to Leeds looked like being one of their hardest remaining fixtures.
Kenner. Turned behind for a corner by Gary Kelly. It was a bright and breezy start by Leeds United. Blackburn Rovers have contained them more comfortably as the half has gone on, and Hendry has come closest to scoring so far. That's Hendry again! He scored this time! Oh, what a smashing header by Colin Hendry. Yeboah, speed, chance for Whelan! Oh, and it's needed a marvellous save from Flowers to keep that lead intact. Now it's for a twist in the tail. McAllister. Header from Pemberton from deep, there is!
That last-minute equaliser gave fresh hope to Manchester United, who on the same day were away to Leicester, whose relegation had just been confirmed. United and Ferguson were resigned to losing Cantona and Kanchelskis for the rest of the title race.
This is McClare. Inside to Hughes. To make it 2-0. There's Hughes. Oh, well played, Neville. Neville again. Corner. Well, you've got a glimpse there of the long-term future of Manchester United. Gary Neville and David Beckham combining on the right.
Pushed up their goal difference beyond that of Blackburn, but with 5 games to go, they were still 6 points behind. Dalglish's team only needed to hold their nerve. Easter Monday saw both contenders playing at home. United's opponents were Chelsea, still not clear of the threat of relegation.
It's a good ball by Hughes. Lee Davis couldn't take it first time. Gets in the cross, they're queuing at the back by Hughes! And it's over the top. Cole! Johnson got it away. Handball! Well, I must say, Johnson got away with that for me. Absolutely killed the ball with his right hand down by his side. Hitchcock checks that the right side of his goal is covered and goes and stands the other side. It's clicked up. Out by Lee. Bruce, no. Offside against Hughes. Flag was up. Hughes was ahead of Bruce.
After that frustrating 0-0 draw, United now depended on their neighbours Manchester City, doing them a favour that same evening against Blackburn at Ewood Park. The outcome here was unexpected.
Well, Coaten's kick has gone straight to Shearer. It's a gift, and Tony Coaten was the culprit. That's well delivered. Flowers is coming. The whistle's gone. Oh, it looks like he's given a penalty. But it's Keith Curle who's placed the ball on the spot, and Flowers to face a penalty. Half an hour gone. It's 1-1. City back in the match, virtue of the penalty spot. Hendry, it's in. He does it again, the hero defender. That's trying to pick out Quinn. Hendry's headed down. Rossler, well placed, good goal. It's the first chance that he's had, and he's tucked it away with real aplomb. Dalglish trying to get a message across. It's in for Quinn. Oh, he took it very well. Now, got to get it back to Somerby. Here's Somerby, similar position from which he scored against Liverpool. It's saved. Walsh, it's in. City lead 3-2. Paul Walsh.
4 games to go, the lead now 5 points. At the other end of the Premiership, Norwich City's season had collapsed, but Robbie Fowler and Liverpool were on a high. They'd won the Coca-Cola Cup to ensure a European place the following season, but poor Norwich, in Europe themselves only a season before, had won only 1 match since the turn of the year.
Thomas can knock it in first time. Harkness gets it down. Rush. Harkness. That's exactly what Norwich didn't want. Such in the 6-yard box. James has come. He took it and he set McManaman free. And 1 or 2 tired Norwich defenders. Sick of the sight of McManaman running at them. Ian Rush will score.
Norwich, beaten again, were on their way down. For caretaker manager Gary Megson, it was too late. At this stage, on the last Saturday in April, even Arsenal needed a point to be sure of safety. The mood at Highbury was lifted by their European campaign in the final of the Cup Winners' Cup for the 2nd year running. There was a packed house for the derby against Spurs.
Wright withheld it to his left. Wright again. Oh, what a great run by Wright. He's gone down. Penalty. It's a penalty to Arsenal for tugging on Ian Wright. And Wright scores. This is Ronnie Rosenthal, the man who had the first chance of the game. Seems a long time ago now. Here's Edinburgh. Spurs well stocked in the middle. Oh, and Jurgen Klinsmann's there, and he's equalised. Is there anything that this fellow cannot do for Spurs?
Klinsmann was voted Footballer of the Year before returning to Germany. Meanwhile, in the race for the title, Mark Reaper's goal, his first for West Ham, put Championship leaders Blackburn behind at Upton Park and gave Hammers fans real hope of avoiding the drop. And with Blackburn out of sorts that Sunday afternoon, West Ham substitute Matthew Rush broke away to set up the second goal, helped by John Moncur and scored by Don Hutchison. Kenny Dalglish and Ray Harford now had to stand and wait as Alex Ferguson took Manchester United to Coventry 24 hours later. This is Cole, away from 2 defenders. Oh, and Gould couldn't hold that, and it's in by Paul Scholes. Coventry's corner. It's not well cleared, that really, by Pallister. Maybe this time Dublin. flicked on and in by Peter and Love. Well, that's one meant for Cole. Presley's the defender. Oh, and he's falling over, and Cole's in here for United, and they're back in front. This is Cook. Good ball, and Presley and Coventry have equalised again. Kevin Richardson with the back header. Oh, and he's got Andy Cole in here, and he's over Gordon round him and scores. 3-2 to United. That left Manchester United 5 points behind with a game in hand, but 2 wins would ensure Blackburn took the title. In the relegation dogfight, London rivals Crystal Palace and West Ham met at Selhurst Park. It wasn't a day for the faint-hearted.
On by Dowie. Here's Houghton, though. Feels for handball against Dix, not given. Houghton again. Still Ray Houghton! Oh, McCluskey, and it's in! Armstrong!
The temperature at Villa Park was no less palatable. Aston Villa had won only 1 of their last 11 games and only scored once in their last 9. A crowd of 40,000 knew that victory over Liverpool was paramount.
York now in front of James, bit of a wrestling match, and Dwight York scores. All right, took that away from Harkness, who presumably didn't shout. York, it's 2.
Dwight York's 2 goals brought Villa 3 vital points and a bit of breathing space. Norwich's relegation was confirmed that day, and Crystal Palace still look favourites to occupy the 4th spot. Manchester United reduced Blackburn's lead to 2 points when they beat Sheffield Wednesday at Old Trafford. A former Blackburn player, David May, was the scorer. Now the critical match was Blackburn versus Newcastle at Ewood Park, where Alan Shearer's goal beat Kevin Keegan's team. So Blackburn breathed again. Their 5-point lead was restored, and United now had to beat Southampton at Old Trafford to keep the race for the title going until the last day.
Tissier, Shipley, Watson, good running from midfield. Charlton! Hughes, Neville, too long, poor cross. Cole, they almost all let it go. Hughes, Cole, yes! Unbelievable defending. Owen, everything right of him. Sharp tries to go left and falls over. Cole! Good block again by Besant. Referee's given a penalty. The referee has given a penalty. The challenge on Cole. The chance to take the championship to the last match. Owen. Goal!
Meanwhile, Liverpool's Jamie Redknapp was put in an awkward position against relegation-threatened West Ham, managed by his father, Harry Redknapp. But the Hammers cruised to safety.
That's a mistake by Scale, just let Moncur in until his left is Matt Holmes. Chance here for West Ham. Oh, he took it brilliantly! Matthew Holmes! Oh, well played, Hutchison! It's the ex-Liverpool man who may have ensured against Liverpool West Ham's survival in the Premiership. Well, now then, that has sent a wave of relief around Upton Park. And now Moncur has gone down after a challenge by Barnes, but there's chances here again. Hutchison again! Yes! Oh, surely that seals it. Harry Redknapp, look at that. The gesture of a manager who knows he's mighty close now to ensuring Premiership football here next season. And Don Hutchison has scored 2 in little more than a minute.
So the season drew to a thrilling crescendo on the very last day. In the race for the title, Blackburn went to Anfield to face Kenny Dalglish's old club Liverpool, knowing that victory would ensure them their first championship since 1914. But if Blackburn slipped up and Manchester United won at West Ham, then it would be United's title, their third in a row. The stage was set for a fantastic finish.
It's what they wanted.
Moncur. Holmes. Collected by Rowland. Moncur. Holmes inside. Setting touch from Butt. Holmes allowed to turn on it. And it's in by Hughes. The delight on the faces of West Ham supporters. Bruce and Pallister, as ever, have come forward. McClare! Totally unmarked! And Manchester United's hopes rise yet again in this extraordinary season.
Redknapp. Clough. McManaman.
Sharp gets the angle, Pallister, Hughes! Great stop! Fine save by McCloskey. Comes down to Scholes. Another appeal for handball, goal! Good stop! Goal kick. Half one, Cole, off Potts, Scholes. They're queuing up to put it in, but can't find the way. Neville. It's Hughes. Cole! Blocked by McCloskey. Bruce. And somehow manages to deny the attack. It's a Manchester United ball. Pallister with the flick. McClare, it's loose. Blocked by Breaker. Ince can't get hold of it. Irwin. Amazing stuff. Won again by Breaker. Scholes. Up comes Schmeichel. Oh dear. Not what was wanted.
It's a free kick to Liverpool. Just in case you wanted some more drama. Redknapp lines the ball up. Full lead 2-1. They just can't take it in, Blackburn. All round the ground, there's cheering anyway. Bracing. What can you say about this? And the whistle's gone. Well, amazing scenes. Blackburn have lost here. They've lost here, but they are champions. That's what the crowd is saying. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in 25 years of commentating. Jamie Redknapp smashed the ball in the net. But suddenly, the final score came in from West Ham, and Blackburn knew they'd done it anyway.
So this was how the 1994-95 FA Carling Premiership table looked at the finish. The championship settled on the very last day, and the 4 bottom teams relegated to the Ensley League Division 1. All in all, it had been another gripping season.